For me, I think that you have really got to invest in your folks and thinking about what are their needs? How can you help them grow? Talk to them about what they need and where they're interested in growing, helping folks see what are all the paths that could be open to them. There are jobs we don't even know that are going to be invented yet, right? So to talk about how can you leverage where their strengths are? How can you help them diminish those things that might be derailers for them and really grow their capabilities as a leader? So providing them an environment where they can safely practice and stretch the rubber band in some of these skills are key. I think having a mentorship program in your organization is important, as well as coaches. And maybe those coaches are from external, maybe they are internal, maybe they're tied to their professional organization that they work with within their organizations. But I really believe that development comes through investing in folks. And you don't have to have a big budget to be able to do that. You can do reading circles. I was working with a client who was having some difficulty with their membership organization. So I suggested a book. Chip and Dan Heath have a book called The Power of Moments. And it not only can help your internal culture, it also helps with your customer relations. So having her team read that and then sharing information about that. There are so many courses, like you all are investing in yourselves right now by watching this and absorbing those key pieces that you can take back to your organization. So I think really looking for those and finding those to pull in that work for your organization.
I completely agree, Heidi. And I think the thing I'll call out as well, when you say invest in your people, the first thing I think about is budget. But it's just really important to remember that you don't have to have a large budget to implement these types of tools. And so it can be not only an investment of time or coaching in the way that you described it, Heidi, which I'm a huge proponent for. You know, I'm certified as an ICF coach, and I have seen coaching work wonders in people's professional and personal lives, because many times it just takes someone to help, you know, keep them accountable to a plan. And that's what coaches do. Additionally, I would encourage technology tools that can help sort of generate that next generation of leadership, or help your leaders understand how to communicate. You know, one thing that stands out to me is that we have 5 different generations in the workforce right now. And all have very, very different needs and different communication styles, which many times can contribute to generational conflict within the workplace. So I would encourage all leaders to get some training on, you know, what are the motivators for each generation and how am I going to most effectively communicate with them? And I just say, follow that platinum rule of treat others how they want to be treated, not how you want to be treated. So I think these are all interwoven with, you know, emotional intelligence and some of the other things that we talked about in earlier questions. But the next generation of leadership is going to have to be nimble. They're going to have to be technologically savvy, and they're going to have to, you know, lead with empathy.
Yeah. One other piece that something you said, Crystyl, reminded me of another tool, which is great. So here in the town that I live in, Tulsa, and I know that these are all over, we have Leadership Tulsa. And so one of the things they do is really, when you go through that program, that's something you can invest in as an organization. But they identify a nonprofit for you to serve on the board as an intern and give back to the community. And even before I went through that program, I work with a lot of nonprofits, serve on several boards. And the cool thing to me is to think about, there was one board that I was working on or serving for. And, you know, my background truly is human resources, organizational development, and that's been my area of focus. And an area that has been tougher for me is finance, budgeting, all of that kind of stuff. So when I was on this board, I talked to them and said, hey, I want to serve on the finance committee because that's an area where I want to grow. And there wasn't really an opportunity within my organization at that time to learn that. I could have grabbed a mentor, but this was a way for me to do that. And I learned so much and got great connections, built wonderful relationships with other members of the finance committee on this board. So to think outside of the normal confines of what we think about as learning and development, to plug your employees into areas that can be growth for them, that then bring back the value to the community as well.